Good afternoon to you all, and Merry Christmas as well. My name is Diana Davis, and I am the founder and CEO of Integral Ward LLC. I'll refer to Integral Ward here forward as Ward. Ward was founded in 2011, and we are headquartered in San Antonio, Texas. We are certified by the Small Business Administration as an 8A, a hub zone, and a woman-owned small business. This video submission discusses our applicable experience that's required by the Department of Homeland Security, Customs and Border Protection, solicitation number 70LART 21 RPFB 0001, which is for Facilities Support Services at the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center, or the FLETC, in Artesia, New Mexico. The next code for that procurement is 561210, Facility Support Services, with the current size standard of $41.5 million, and Ward does currently fit under that next code, and it is considered a small business. As the owner of Ward, I affirm to CBP that I am the primary individual from our corporate headquarters who will initially manage the contract performance if we are the awardee, and ensure that operations meet or exceed government expectations for performance. Further, if we are the awardee, I will assign our Chief Operating Officer to work closely with the on-site and the alternate project management to ensure that all deliverables are provided as required and all services are performed as described and required in the statement of work. I apologize for the simplicity of this video, but I wanted to keep it short and simple. Among our diversity of service offerings, Ward is currently performing multiple operations, maintenance, repair, and renovation type projects for various agencies, to include the Corps of Engineers, the Department of Justice, the Environmental Protection Agency, and GSA. Ward works for CBP in multiple sectors to include operations in New Mexico. We are the prime, currently performing O&M, grounds maintenance, and custodial services for CBP at the Air Training Center, or the ATC, in Oklahoma City. We have probably 40 projects right now underway for CBP that are funded with year-end dollars in El Paso, Big Bend, Laredo, Del Rio sectors, and we have numerous projects also ongoing in the Northwest regions, primarily in Montana and Idaho. Those types of projects include things like upgrades of the building automation systems, fencing and gate replacements, grading and clearing properties, painting detention cells, paving and striping. We're installing parking lots and installing landscaping. We've got numerous large HVAC upgrade and replacement projects. We've got several roofing and siding projects, installation of generators, and we're also erecting canopies and vehicle lifts. In addition, Integral Ward, we have a wholly owned subsidiary, Native Security Services, and with them, we are one of the few contractors that are approved by CBP for installation and upgrades of systems like access control, CCTV, intrusion detection, intercom systems. We currently have multiple projects of that type underway, and we have completed for CBP several of them. In fact, we completed the first CBP project made ready to connect to the Federal Bridge, and that was the El Paso Central Processing Center, which was completed earlier this year. Ward participates in the SBA's All Small Mentor Protege program, and we currently have 2 mentors. We'll be in the 8A program until February of 2025. Native Energy and Technology is our first mentor, and Quaternary Resource Investigations, or QRI, is our second mentor. Native Energy has contract operations throughout the U.S. and the Caribbean and has worked worldwide. They are currently performing multiple facility maintenance contracts and different services in various regions as the prime contractor for CBP, which includes the New Mexico and the West Texas region, the Northwest region, the Southeast, including Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, and they now, for about a year, have been on the East Texas contract, which covers facilities from Oklahoma City over to Biloxi, Mississippi, and as far south as Brownsville, Texas. Our mentor, QRI, is a recognized leader in the federal world of environmental consulting, remediation, and construction. They also have contract operations and project offices throughout the United States and do a great deal of work for the Corps of Engineers and for GSA. With both of our mentors, Ward has established joint ventures, one of which is currently performing services for the federal government and specifically for CBP. Our joint venture with Native Energy is called Allegiant Facility Services. It's a JV, and we currently perform the base operations support contract for CBP at the Advanced Training Center, or the ATC, in Harpers Ferry, West Virginia, where we've been for about a year and a half. In addition, we're very accustomed to working with collective bargaining agreements and Service Contract Act labor categories. In fact, we have experience ongoing with the union that is currently in place at the FLETC Artesia, as they're the same union that's in place at our similar operation that we have for the GSA at multiple locations in Las Cruces and Roswell, New Mexico, where we have federal courthouses and other federal buildings there. I'm now going to progress quickly through this presentation with a brief discussion of our relevant experience performing each of the services as specified in the government solicitation. That includes life safety systems like fire suppression and alarm panels, the maintenance, repair, and cleaning of indoor and outdoor firearms ranges, air handling systems, and other HVAC systems, maintenance and repair of vehicle skid pans and surfaces like pumps and motors, environmental operations and recycling, which includes hazmat and other hazardous materials management requirements, the maintenance and repair of buildings and systems to include cafeterias or dorms, office buildings, chillers and boilers, and the ability to manage maintenance and repair issues and provide after-hour support, which we do on basically all of our facility maintenance contracts. This will also have a brief discussion of grounds maintenance and custodial services and also pest control. So the first thing I'm going to touch on very briefly is our experience as it relates to life safety systems, including fire suppression and alarm panels. Again, we have total facility maintenance contracts for multiple agencies across the United States. Ward and its team members and our JVs provide preventive maintenance and corrective maintenance repairs to various life safety systems, including fire suppression and alarm panels. We also have recent experience installing and upgrading those types of systems. We recently finished 3 fire suppression installs for CBP in the Big Bend. Actually, that were 4. We did one at Sierra Blanca, Marfa, Alpine, and Marathon, Texas, at different ports of entry. I'm sorry, not ports of entry, those were checkpoints. We fully understand that fire protection and life safety systems are in service for the purpose of detecting fire and products of combustion, to notify building occupants and emergency responders, initiate smoke controls or fire suppression systems, controls or suppress fires, and also to facilitate or enhance emergency egress. This type of equipment could include emergency lighting or signage, special egress doors, blocking mechanisms, and exit stair markings. We also do have in-house licensed, certified, and fire alarm technicians, and we sometimes use a third party, certainly to do inspections of the systems that we install. We often also have to take into consideration the life safety systems that are part of our installation and upgrade to access, well, when we do access controls and intrusion detections, we often have to consider how they interact with how things previously might have been wired when it relates to fire alarms and that type of thing. We follow maintenance standards and guides to perform inspections, testing, and the PMs on these systems in accordance with the NFPA. and we use their forms to record the results of our inspections and our testing services. That's would include fire extinguishers, emergency and standby power systems, generators, fire-rated door assemblies, fire dampers, a combination fire and smoke dampers. There are several facilities where we provide these services currently, and this applies to most of the services that are required by this solicitation. For GSA specifically, we have 3 courthouses and federal buildings in El Paso, Texas, and we maintain also 9 land ports of entry on the same contract. Those are spread from the Big Bend of Texas in Marfa throughout West Texas and El Paso and into New Mexico, where we take care of the new Columbus port of entry and the Santa Teresa port of entry as well. We also maintain courthouses and federal buildings located in for GSA in Las Cruces and Roswell, New Mexico. For the Department of Justice, we provide these facilities for the DEA, their Air Operations Center in Fort Worth, where we also provide total facility maintenance and grounds maintenance services. Ward also is under contract. I believe we're on our 2nd or 3rd year with the Justice Prisoner and the Alien Transportation System, JPATS, or the Conair system, located in Oklahoma City. We provide facility maintenance there, grounds maintenance as well. This includes life safety services and providing a 24/7 emergency response. For the EPA, we are in our 4th year providing total facility maintenance to include life safety. The Ecosystems Research Lab, that's located in Athens, Georgia, where we also take care of the EPA Region 4 offices that are located nearby. For both of those facilities, we provide total facility maintenance that includes all of the operations, maintenance, repairs, the grounds, custodial, pest control, and miscellaneous tasks like moving furniture or setting up cubicles. Whatever needs to be done at the facility, we are their go-to. At that particular facility, we also provide 24/7, 365 days a year, armed security guards and CCTV monitoring, and also 24/7 emergency response. For the Corps of Engineers, we have 2 large contracts where we maintain about 7 million square feet of facilities for the Defense Logistics Agency. That's about 7 million square feet with about 6,000 assets. They're all managed via the IBM Maximo database that we administer fully with in-house resources, not just for the Corps of Engineers, but for several of our EPA and our Border Patrol contracts as well. Those contracts for the Corps of Engineers are located at Warner Robins Air Force Base in Georgia and at the Red River Army Depot in Texarkana, Texas. Now for CBP, we manage the exact same type of services at multiple locations, which includes the Air Training Center, which is 2 buildings basically in Oklahoma City. And then we are about 1.5 years into a contract under GSA BMO for Region 1 with our joint venture. We take care of total facility maintenance, all life safety, all grounds, all custodial, all O&M at the Border Patrol's Federal Law, or their Law Enforcement Training Center, or the Air Advanced Training Center, as they call it, the ATC, in Harpers Ferry, West Virginia, which now includes all of the new conference center and dormitories that have been added to the contract just within the last few months. The next thing I want to go over really quickly is our experience as it relates to maintenance and repair, cleaning of indoor and outdoor firing ranges, targeting systems, air handling systems, that type of equipment. For some of the CBP and the DEA contracts run by Ward or its joint ventures, we are responsible for furnishing, removing, and properly disposing of lead containing HEPA and pre-filters for multiple firing ranges. We're currently responsible for the disposal of firing range floor sweepings, lead-containing rags, lead-containing cleaning towels. All ranges are typically mined every 12 to 18 months, and the weights of that mined lead is just information that we provide over to the COR, but we have to dispose of that in accordance with applicable regulations as well. All shredded rubber is replenished as needed to maintain the integrity and the proper operation of the bullet trap systems. In addition to the regular maintenance of both indoor and outdoor firing ranges, Ward also has extensive experience in the abatement of lead at indoor firing ranges, specifically for the Virgin Islands National Guard in St. Croix. We spent about a year down there on a large lead abatement project for a firing range that had been closed for several years. We are registered by the EPA as a lead abatement contractor and have performed lead abatement in various capacities. Some of the facilities where we provide these services include the Department of Justice, again, at the DEA Air Operations Center in Fort Worth, and again for the Advanced Training Center for CBP at Harpers Ferry. At all of our facilities, we provide preventive and corrective maintenance for a multitude of HVAC systems, providing ventilation or temperature control for building spaces. That includes all components, devices, equipment, and associated systems, condensate drip pans, grills, evaporators, air filters, everything relative to HVAC. Our in-house HVAC mechanics are certified, and they conduct daily checks of boilers, chillers, cooling towers, pneumatic controls, HVAC equipment in land rooms, air handlers, usually on distributed HVAC equipment, and external condensers, fire pumps, geothermal systems if we have them. Those are checked on a weekly basis, and then on no less than a monthly basis, we'll inspect condensate drip pans for all air handling units, window units, that type of thing, make sure that they're physically operating like they're supposed to, and have drip pans that are installed properly and draining properly. And also the drip pans are treated with a biocide to control growth of algae and that type of thing. Experience with environmental operations at a recycling facility, federal facility, with also hazmat or haz waste components. Ward actually started off as a recycling contractor in 2013, where we got our first contract, and we're still there now on our third contract, where we run the entire F.E. Warren Air Force Base Recycling Center and the entire operation. We've been there since 2013 on a weekly basis. We are processing cardboard, paper, copper wire, metals, that type of thing. We make sure that we don't mix things. It's actually a facility that is provided by the government. We just provide the operation and the actual day-to-day operation of that. And we work with their on-site environmental people to get the best deals, because the funds that are generated by that contract are what actually pay for the contract, so it's self-funded. Our teaming partners actually provide fence-to-fence services. Native Energy and QRI both have many, many years, in fact, have worked together in the past to provide fence-to-fence services that include haz waste and hazardous material management. So we're fully versed in the use of ESOMIS and all of the requirements for accountability and control and inspections of that type of thing for federal facilities, where we've done that at multiple bases throughout Texas, and also into Arizona, Davis-Monthan, I believe, and some places in Cannon Air Force Base as well. I'm going to briefly describe our experience relative to maintenance and repair of buildings. For boilers and chillers and that type of thing, we operate both closed and open loop systems. We have multiple chillers, boilers. Again, in total, we probably have, I'm going to guess, a minimum of 50 million square feet of space that we maintain at facilities across the United States. We've got air cooling towers, specifically at GSA and CBP facilities and Corps of Engineers. We actually have some smart chillers as well. We perform routine inspections of chillers, check refrigerant and oil, We'd provide annual cleaning of condensers. We have a full preventive maintenance program at the contract start. After we conduct a full equipment validation, we enter everything into Maximo. It's our preferred CMMS. We've used several others, including Tririga, that CBP implements. We have a full PM program and schedule of services. We usually provide 1 full month of that schedule in advance to the government. PMs and work orders are entered into Maximo on a daily basis, and we track everything. We understand that the contract at the FLETC is basically requires an on-site presence by project management and alternate staff 6 days a week, and that there will too for this contract be a 24/7 response to include emergency and urgent and routine services. With that, we would have mechanics who would be on a published and rotating schedule, where we'd probably have 2 people on the weekends that are responsible, and they'll rotate and take turns as far as who's going to be on call. We do these for all of our maintenance contracts. Lastly, and very briefly, I want to go over our experience as a grounds maintenance, custodial, and pest control contractor. Ward and its joint venture partners perform total facility maintenance at multiple locations for numerous agencies, including CBP. This includes snow and ice removal. We are the contractor right now. We have 2 contracts specifically for CBP, where we provide snow and ice removal along the entire northern border along Canada. We also provide that operation at the ATC in Harpers Ferry for CBP. We maintain improved, semi-improved, and unimproved grounds. We have landscaping and operation and maintenance repair of irrigation systems, mowing, edging, clipping, trimming trees, fertilizing, maintenance of shrubs. We remulch and provide plantings in the spring and the fall at most of our facilities. Our custodial services, with COVID this year, we have done some COVID disinfection of facilities for CBP. I'm sorry, not for CBP. We did that for GSA in New Mexico at the courthouses and in El Paso as well. Our normal custodial operations would include high and low dusting, sweeping, damp mopping of hard surfaces or hard surface floors, vacuuming of carpets, daily cleaning and disinfection of restrooms and heavily trafficked areas. Occasional services would include maybe biannual or annual stripping and re-waxing or buffing of floors, shampooing of carpets, window washing, that type of thing. Sometimes we might do an over and above high dusting above a certain height. We perform these services at multiple locations, again, for GSA, EPA, CBP across the country. That is the very short and sweet of our presentation today. Just to give you a very brief overview of our capabilities and our experience that is currently ongoing for multiple agencies, to include CBP, and specifically for CBP at federal law enforcement training facilities. I am more than happy to provide additional information upon your request. I am happy to provide names, numbers, and emails for our CBP and other client points of contact or references. I thank you for the opportunity today. I hope you'll feel free to reach me if you'd like to discuss this further. My cell phone number direct is 210-279-3192, or I can be reached at ddavis@integrward.com, INTEGRIWARD.com. Thank you all. Have a happy and blessed holiday.